Hello again, everyone. This is Rob, aka Hated Hero. Today I'm bringing you my Toxin Doctor build, which was partly inspired by this costume, the Toxin Doctor. We're going to hop right into the sets. The sets you're going to be looking for are Sheer Venom and Vice Cannon. 5 pieces of each. If you have a Master Bow and a Maelstrom two-hander available, these will be the best weapons for this build. If you do not have them, you can substitute them for the Sheer Venom weapons that drop from the bosses in Imperial City Prison. 2 bosses drop named unique Sheer Venom weapons. One is a sharpened two-handed axe, and one is a precise bow. So while you're farming your Sheer Venom body pieces and jewelry, you can hope to get one of those as a drop as well. I use 1 weapon damage enchant and 2 stamina recovery enchants. These can be swapped out for more weapon damage if you do not have trouble maintaining your stamina. We're going to quickly put on our buffs and look at our stats. These are out of Cyrodiil stats, so the health will go up significantly. It goes up to around 21k in Cyrodiil. We've got 1900 stamina recovery, 3000 weapon damage, and 48% critical, as well as a 2k crit resist. This is a good marker for pretty much any build. 2k is as low as you would like to go on your crit resists. Let me rephrase that. 2000 is as low as I like to go on my crit resist. Those are pretty good overall stats. The weapon damage is lower than it could be on a gank Nightblade or a high weapon damage Nightblade, but that's okay. The bread and butter of this build are the dots. So we're going to quickly look at those. Sheer Venom. When you deal damage with an execute ability, you infect the enemy, dealing 11,620 poison damage over 6 seconds. This can occur every 6 seconds. So there's no cooldown. What procs this? Executioner can. That's an execute ability. But the main ability we're going to use to proc this is Poison Inject. Poison Inject is considered an execute, and it will proc Sheer Venom, whether the target's at full health or below 50% health. The other poison bleed we will be applying is Vice Cannon. This can only be applied from critical damage at a stealth stance. So what that means is you have to be hidden and you have to have a guaranteed crit. And how we do that is with our cloak, Shadowy Disguise. Cloak yourself in shadow to become invisible for 2.9 seconds. Your next attack within 3 seconds will always be a critical strike. So we buff up, we go into stealth, and we attack our enemy with a Poison Inject. That instantly puts 3 dots on the target. Your Poison Inject dot, your Sheer Venom dot, and your Vice Cannon dot. Now some of you may have already noticed I do not have ambush on my skill bar. The reason is we're using a Maelstrom weapon. When you crit charge, you apply an additional damage over time to the enemy. This is with a Maelstrom weapon. If you are using the Sheer Venom two-handed axe, then you are going to want to use ambush, because you will have no benefit of crit rush. That covers some of the skills and the basics of how the build is used. Now we'll get into the champion points. Champion points are very flexible. You can adjust them to your style of play or things you may feel do not work right for you. That's perfectly fine. These are a good baseline to start with. I've tested them out many times, and this is what I have found works the best for me, but it may not work the best for you. I like 13 in Shade to reduce the cost of sneaking, 65 in Tumbling because we rely a lot on dodge rolls for this build, 1 in Tenacity because you will be heavy attacking frequently with your surprise attack, 26 in Mooncalf. We don't put a lot here because we already have good stamina recovery, but this is enough to give it a nice little boost. 43 in Warlord to reduce the stamina cost of our abilities. 43 in Magician to reduce the cost of our cloak. Cloaking is very important. And 9 in Sprinter, just to help us run away or run to someone when needed. 13 in Quick Recovery to help with our heals. 56 Hardy, 56 Elemental Defender, 30 in Thick Skinned. This is very, very important, especially if you are running a vampire on your Nightblade, which I do, and this will help mitigate some of the damage received from Dawnbreakers. 45 in Resistant. If you go with more than 4 pieces of Impin, which is all I'm using in my build, you could reduce this a little and distribute them through here any way you'd like. Just try to make sure you hit that 2k crit resist. $98 in Mighty, 24 in Piercing, 26 in Precise Strikes and Thaumaturge. I also use 26 in Blessed again to help with the healing on the Nightblade. If you find that your healing is okay and you do not need these points spent here, bring them over to the damage tree. Get yourself a little more damage. Now I'm going to go over all the skills and why I use them. Again, skills are based by player to player. If these do not work for you, you can change them to what you like. This is what I have found benefits this build for me the most. So on our back bar, we're running Toxic Barrage. This is an additional dot to apply to an enemy, and I really like to use it on heavy armor targets because this dot combined with our Poison Inject and our 2 proc dots from our set armors is a massive damage over time on the enemy. And most targets cannot and will not heal through it. The only targets that you will have trouble with this build on are Templars that spam Cleansing Ritual. But that's something you will learn to fight while you're on the battlefield. Retreating Maneuver. This is a skill that I really like on my Stamina Nightblades. Most people may say, I don't need that, I'm going to run Shuffle. That's totally up to you. But this gets me out of so many bad situations and allows me to move extremely fast while in stealth. Relentless Focus. This has given us 8% more damage as well as 10% stamina recovery. Vigor. Poison Inject. And Shadowy Disguise. On our front bar, we're using Crit Rush to apply an additional bleed with the Maelstrom two-hander. If you do not have it, you will want to swap this out for Ambush. Executioner. This is also a very interchangeable skill. You don't really need an execute on this build, but it will help proc sheer venom again while the target is at low health and you're trying to execute them. Rally for our major brutality and heal over time and burst heal. Surprise attack as a spammable DPS when needed. Mass hysteria and incap. So just real quickly, the combo you're going to want to do before you watch the video at the end is stealth, hit your cloak, poison inject. You're going to ambush or crit rush in, followed by a medium to heavy attack weave into a surprise attack. At that point, most targets are near death already. You can simply heavy attack execute again, or hit them with an end cap and then begin to execute. Most targets you will find go down very, very quickly with this build. If they don't, they are hurting badly, and their heals are not going to do much because of all the pressure from the dots. That pretty much covers it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Post any questions or comments below. Everyone have a good day.